Hi everyone, welcome to the introduction of the Wargaming Simulator, a tool I recently developed, and I just felt like we need something like this, a really easy, really fast tabletop simulator basically. So what you can do is basically you can do anything, like playing a standard tabletop battle, playing Dungeons and Dragons battles, playing skirmish games like Dead Zone from Mantic, or big games of, for example, Grim Nordic Future. But let's start. How do we even set it up? Well, here, this is the landing page basically. I'll put the link in the video description. And all you have to do is say how big your table is. Select a file. And I have fantasy table here. And just click on create new game. And then it's uploading the file, and you can see we have our battlefield here, and we can now start adding our units. So this will be online synchronized all the time. So we can click on show here, and we can take this number and send it to someone else, and they can just put it here, click on join game. They will see exactly the same. Everyone can move all the units. You have a log down here, so if I, for example, do a dice roll, like here, 10 dice, everyone will see that player 1, that's my name, I can put down here. I rolled 3 times a 1, 4 times a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 6. So there is no cheating like, oh yeah, I rolled 5 sixes, or I rolled not a single one. So that's everything is logged down here. So what we then start with is usually showing the deployment zones. So this is the standard. We have a lot of different other deployment styles, for example this, and you can just define the distance here. For our normal zones, we can also like put angles here to have like the zones you want. Also do 90 degrees and like split the table in 3 big regions. But let's probably stay with the absolute standard way for most of the war games. The first thing when creating your game would be to add stuff. So let's click on add here. So you see we can add basically a base. So we have a base size here of 25 millimeters. We can put that up to 40. We can select the color here. So probably let's take blue. We can name this unit, and let's make a catapult. You see, the name is also there. And let's select the file down here. And in here, we have our siege weapons. As you can see, all these assets I have here, I also have like a lot of heroes. They are from 2 Minute Tabletop. They make awesome stuff for your D&D games. They have a really cool art style. I can just suggest everyone using this, and it looks really, really good. And let's, for example, just take this catapult, open it, and let's place it, for example, here. Then I can place another one, or I can change the names here. The only thing I can't change now is the image file. So everything I place now will have the same image. So for example, if I go to like a 60 millimeter base and change to red, I can have a big, let's call it siege catapult, place it here. And if I now click on accept, both of them will be added. You see, you have a small catapult and a bigger one. That's how you add units, basically. You can add that for both sides. To speed it up a bit, I already prepared a full table here with 2 armies. They're basically these 2 armies of wood elves versus human empire. So we have a human empire here. We have the wood elves up here. And now with this, I will show you the basic functions we have here. So let's start from the top here. We can measure. So I just click on my unit, I click on the target, and I see 24.8, or I click here and I directly have the result on the cursor. So I can see, okay, we're at 24.5, and this measurement snaps on the units and subtracts basically the base size. So you have the distance between the units and not center to center. So like here we have now 24.3 inch. If it's a 24 inch weapon, we can't shoot. So that's why, let's jump to the move. I select my unit and I just say where we want to move. And I have the distance written up here. So for example, we could move here, make sure to only move 6 inch. We'll also see how much we moved up here after we clicked. And we can also move other units. So for a normal war game, I could, for example, move all of these now through here. Also make sure that they only move 6 inches. Or probably let's cheat. Let's say, okay, this one moves 6.9 inches. No one will notice, right? Let's click on accept. And you see I moved my units and, oh, you see in the log we have player 1 moved Mage Council by 6.9 inch. So the enemy will see if I try to cheat here. That's why I included this log. So here are all the movements and all die rolls logged down here. So, you know, measure, add, move. Deployment zones we already know. Then we have the radius. So for example, okay, now we're a bit too big. Let's make it a bit smaller. For example, a 12-inch radius. I just click on my unit. I have the radius here. And so I can see how far they can shoot. I can do like a 24-inch radius. I can also do it for the enemies, of course. So here we have a 24-inch radius. This means if they would have 24-inch weapons, I could just see where I could move so they could not directly shoot, for example. You can also do the keep here. So if I click on that, the last drawn radius will stay. So I can do a move here and make sure that I do not move into the radius, but stay out of the radius, for example. And of course I can put in my name here. And then you see Udo moved cannon by 6.2 inch. And if we measure the distance now, you see it's more than 24 inch. For that unit we had the radius previously. We can also do the edit here. Edit is basically changing the name. So instead of cannon, we can call it heavy cannon or something. Just also click on accept here. And now it's renamed. Click on measure, we see it's now the heavy cannon. For add, edit, move, and also remove. So with remove, I can just say, okay, the cannon did 3 hits. Click on everything I want to remove. Click on accept. Now the units are gone. So for all of these 4, you need to click on accept afterwards. So if I do move, do all my moves here, and then go back to measure, all the moves will just be deleted. The same for add. I can add some bases here, go back to radius or measure or any of the other functions like edit. It will be deleted. So you need to click on accept after these 4 actions here. So here we have some settings for the window. So we can set the width here. And by that we can tune how big this image is. We can set the standard color. So now we have a very bright battlefield that's good with black. If we go to white, for example, and measure distance, you see everything is white. But if you have like a very, very dark battlefield, then of course it's better with white. So you can just set it there. And we can do a change layout. So as you can see here, now everything is next to each other. If I click on change layout, it's optimized to be below that. So if you have a rather high screen, it's much better. And if you have a rather wide screen, then it's probably better to have everything on the right here. Yeah, and then we have our dice. So let's just roll 12 dice. You see we rolled 2 1s, 1 2, 1 3, 3 4s, 2 5s, and 3 6s. You can also see it down here. And also I just did the calculations here. So if our unit is a 3+, we directly know, okay, it's 9 9 successes, and then the enemy can roll the defense rolls. Here we have a notes entry that's only for yourself and not for the enemy or any other players. We can just put in random notes like make sure to use ambush after this round. And if we now do something, this will stay here. So it's pretty convenient for you to use. I think that's already everything about this tool. So you can add units. It's basically the deployment phase. You can move them around and you can remove them when they're killed. You can show the deployment zones. And I think that's basically anything you do when playing a real tabletop game. So that was the main idea. Have a very simple, very easy to use tool. Just like 10 minutes of preparation, that is mostly the deployment, and you can start playing. To get nice maps, I on the main page I have some links here. So I created some assets, so like activated markers or wavered wound markers, also the objective. And I created 2 battlefields, so this is a full 72 by 48 inch standard tabletop table with some dangerous terrain and some ruins. So perfectly for stuff like Grimlock Future from One Page Rules. I also did a smaller 24 inch square terrain with grids. So this is perfect for Dead Zone from Mantic. But of course you can create lots of your own tables. I created a small zip file here where you have also these 2 battlefields, but also without the buildings, every single building, and also some more stuff to create your maps. And of course there are lots of other links. So roll20.net, they have a Warhammer 40k community. They have a lot of tokens and stuff you can add to your maps. Then of course 2 Minute Tabletop, let's have a quick look at them. They have awesome stuff. So they have a free collection. They have anything. Let's just look at the free collection. You can see here we have directly finished battles. Here we have trenches, so World War One. We can search for tokens here. I think they called it assets, I'm not sure. Yeah, so Halloween monsters here, building assets, hero tokens, so you can just put them in for your units. You can create a castle. Here we have more hero tokens. Basically anything you need for any fantasy battle. As you can see here, all the trees, all the accessories are from here. So, and I did put the link for Deep AI here. That's basically an AI image generator where you can just generate images. Just tell them what you need. Do something like remove background and save it as a PNG file, and you're good to go, and you can start your game here. Alright, that's it from the Wargaming simulator. I hope you liked this video. This is the first version of it, so there will probably be still a lot of changes. If you have any feedback, let me know.